How you doing, YouTube? Brain Smasher back at you again with an album review. It's been a while since I did an album review, and that's because for a while there I was just kind of hopping, skipping around, listening to various stuff, just kind of grabbing random stuff. Not really listening to much new stuff, just kind of enjoying having the vast collection that I do. But I'm sitting there on the couch one day, and I don't know if this happens to you. Probably not, because I'm a fucking weirdo. But a word pops up into my head. Oh, I guess, I don't know what it is. I just say, Heol Telwen. For some reason, this just burst into my head. And the last... Okay, well, here's how it got into my head in the first place. Probably 10 years ago or so, my buddy Wayne told me about this album by Heol Telwen. Said, check it out. I probably listened to it on YouTube or something, downloaded it, I don't know, whatever. Didn't appeal to me, didn't do anything for me. Gone, deleted it, forgotten. And then all of a sudden the other day, it was probably been like a month ago, Heol Telwen just pops up in my head, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Does that ever happen to you? Do you ever just have like a phrase or like some other language band name or something like that just pop into your head and you just kind of say it, just kind of like chew on it with your mind? It happens to me every once in a while. I'm not sure what it means, but it does happen to me every once in a while. So, Heol Telwen is a band, an awesome band, and we're listening to Heol Telwen. This album is called On Deiz. Now, Heol Telwen and the album title and really everything here is in Gaelic, as far as I understand. So I don't really know how to pronounce Gaelic very well. I don't even know how to really fake pronounce it. But just what it boils down to is this fucking album is phenomenal. I've been so bowled over by this. I've listened to this every fucking day straight for like a month. And finally today I said, Ben, you gotta stop listening to it, turn it off, review it, and put it away, or you're gonna burn yourself out on it and get sick of it. So here's where we are. This album is so good. I love it. Okay. I'll be really surprised if any of you guys actually check this out and like it, because there's one caveat to the album that I think would deter a lot of people from liking it. And this is probably why I forgot about the band for 10 years straight. And as you can probably hear, the main melody is led by a tin whistle, I guess you would say. Which is a traditional Celtic instrument. Here it says tin and low whistles. So he plays a couple of different whistles. You know, you'll probably just call it a flute. Why don't we just go ahead and call it a flute or whatever? That's pretty much what it sounds like, a tin whistle or something like that. So I just love, first of all, the production is a lot like what I was talking about in my New Eras in Listening video, where it sounds pretty much just like a live band. Nothing is overproduced. Everything sounds exactly like it would if you were in the room with the band, or if they were up on stage and you were watching them live. Nothing is more than what it actually should sound like, which leads me instantly to just enjoy so much. The bass playing is just all over the place. It's super great, but mainly just every instrument and every element just serves the main riff and the melody going on, and the interplay between the guitarist and the tin whistle player. Man, I don't know. If you turn up on the tin whistle, it's just going to be an instantaneous kind of thing for you, I'm sure. But I highly recommend trying to just get past it, because this album is so fucking phenomenal. You know, there's a lot of things that I feel like most people like about metal, aggression, just violent kind of stuff, and there's really none of that here. It's storytelling about Gaelic folklore, Celtic folklore. I'm probably misquoting some things. I probably should have read up more on this. There's none of these song titles are in English, so I don't really know what they're about firsthand. The lyrics are in English, most of them. I've gone through, and I don't know what any of this stuff is. Like, have you ever gone through an Absu booklet and thought, I've never heard of any of this stuff, I have no idea what they're talking about? That's about that level of nerdiness, if I would say. But I guess the closest thing I would compare this to, band-wise, is a band that I don't listen to. They're called Eluvite or Eluvite or something like that. Anyways, what I did was I went on Last.fm, which is a pretty nice resource. Last.fm used to be awesome, but the only thing I use it for now is to find similar artists to bands. And their similar artist is not based on some fucking stupid algorithm that some asshole paid for. The algorithm is actually based on what other listeners listen to most frequently. So, people who listen to Slayer most often are also going to listen to stuff like Anthrax, Metallica, Testament, shit like that, Overkill, blah, blah, blah. And so, that's how they determine what Slayer most sounds like because of what people listen to. So, every once in a while, like, Slayer is not a very good example because, obviously, Overkill doesn't exactly sound like Slayer. That's just not really a good use of this tool. However, a band that I've never heard of or is new to me, and it's really underground, this is a helpful tool because I don't listen to something like this ordinarily, and I'm curious to hear what other bands are like this. So I looked into that. None of it really appealed to me, but I had heard of Eluvite, and I decided to go ahead and check out Eluvite, and I listened to like their highest rated album or whatever, and it was pretty shitty, pretty fucking much garbage. So I'm gonna use Eluvite as a comparison, but understand that Eluvite sucks, and this is pretty fucking good. But the main thing that I think ties the two together is the whistle, the flute instrument that you're hearing. Now, what Eluvite seemed to be doing in the album that I listened to for a little bit, so, you know, I wasn't giving it like a proper sample or anything. I listened like half a song or so. Their stuff is just so stupid and chuggy riffing, palm muted kind of stuff. It just sounded like some kind of hardcore breakdown metal band with flute over the top of it. It was fucking wretched. This, on the other hand, has super awesome, memorable riffs, sing-along choruses, and I just love the interplay between the guitar player and the tin whistle player. It's so interesting. It's almost like there's two guitar players just like bouncing these riffs off of one another, harmonizing and then starting another one. It's just so fascinating and fun and exciting to hear something like this. It's totally different than what I'm used to. I've been just absolutely hooked on it. The drummer is totally competent, not too brutal or not too really anything. He's just really serving the riff and the music that drives these songs so well, makes them so memorable, you know. The album is actually kind of long, and let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tracks. A couple of them are like some interludes. There's an intro. I imagine maybe the last one might be an outro. So 8 to 10, you know, full-on songs to enjoy. Highly recommend picking this up. I got it on their Bandcamp page. Even though this came out in 2005, I was still able to pick up a copy of this. I want to say like $18 is what I paid for it, shipped from France to the States. So yeah, I'm super happy to have this. It was self-released, so you know, once these are gone, they're probably going to be gone. And this, I can't imagine this is ever going to be reissued on LP. I really like the album cover too, by the way. So if something like, I don't know, Belanos appeals to you, I'm a huge fan of Belanos. They've got some interesting instrumentation going on, sort of a Celtic vibe and songs about Celtic mythology and stuff like that. I'm sure you'll dig something like this, but hopefully you'll be hearing it in the background and love it as much as I have. God, I just can't get enough of it. And like, honestly, I'm gonna stop listening to it today, I swear. It's gonna be a while before I listen to this again, but even in the background, it's hard for me to focus on telling you about this because it's so fucking good. I haven't had something like this come along in a long time that just made me rabid to listen to it over and over and over again, every fucking day for a month. It's been nuts. I decided I gotta stop annoying my girlfriend with the fucking flute black metal stuff. Just a weird, really strange, weird kind of band, but man, I love it to death. So I hope you check it out. In the description down below, there'll be a link to their Bandcamp page. Heol Telwen, I don't know how to say the album title, and Deiz. This band actually broke up since this was released, and they went on to form a couple of bands as far as I remember, but one of them being a band called Brandbar, pretty similar from what I checked out. I just I didn't want to dive too much into that other band before I was ready to call it quits with this one. Man, I fucking love this. Wouldn't mind having it on an LP. I've been listening. It's one of those albums I would love to have on LP because of how much I love it. Anyways, that's enough blabbing for me. We'll see you next time. Please check this album out. It's so fucking great. In my last video, I talked about Darkwood's My Betrothed. If you're into that band too, this is up your alley. Alright, I gotta shut up. You gotta quit raving about this thing. We'll see you next time.